kilometer or 1,382-mile road that connects Dawson Creek, BC in Canada to Delta Junction, Alaska. It is a mostly paved or chip sealed highway, which is open year-round and passes through the rugged northern landscape of British Columbia, Yukon, and Alaska. The Alaska Highway was the engineering marvel of World War II and was once described as the largest and most difficult construction project since the Panama Canal. The highway is often referred to as the Yukon Highway, which came from shortening Alaska and Canada Highway. Whether this is your first time driving to Alaska or you're a seasoned traveler of the Yukon, we hope the following information will be helpful in determining if you can drive to Alaska. You can view our handy Alaska Highway Map PDF here. You can also download our PDF mile-by-mile road log to use when driving to Alaska and unable to access the internet. Don't forget to pick up a copy of our Alaska Highway as your handy companion for your trip north. It's full of detailed maps of highways and towns. You can view it further down this page. Visitors looking to drive to Alaska in 2021 need to be aware of enhanced border restrictions for people crossing the border during the pandemic. Click the link to read more about coronavirus in Alaska. For a complete list of things to do in BC, the Yukon and Alaska on your trip north, visit our Things to Do section. For information on places to camp, visit our section on camping in Alaska. To determine when you should plan your trip to Alaska, visit our page on the best time to visit Alaska. Finally, many visitors to the north want to experience the northern lights, so we've put together a page of detailed information on how and when to see the northern lights in Alaska. Driving to Alaska on the Alaska Highway. Many visitors want to know if you can drive to Alaska on the Alaska Highway. The answer is yes. If you drive to Alaska, you must drive through Canada. If you drive to Alaska, you will need to drive through the province of British Columbia and the Yukon Territory. The Alaska Highway is 2,224 km or 1,382 miles long and stretches from Dawson Creek, British Columbia to Delta Junction, Alaska. It was originally a 1,422-mile-long drive to Alaska, but due to highway reconstruction and rerouting, it is now 40 miles or 64 kilometers short. Alaska, however, has not changed the original mileage, so there is a mileage discrepancy of 40 miles when you cross the Alaska. Many people think the Alaska Highway ends in Fairbanks, Alaska, but it is actually the Richardson Highway that connects Delta Junction and Fairbanks. Do you need a passport to drive to Alaska? Yes, you will need a passport to drive to Alaska, as the majority of the Alaska Highway is in Canada, 1,182 miles of the total 1,422 miles. A passport is required for all visitors to enter Canada by land, sea or air. Driving to Alaska in 2021 has been complicated due to the pandemic restrictions in place for crossing the border. Click here for updated entry requirements. Regulations are constantly changing, but you may be required to provide proof of a negative COVID-19 test and quarantine for up to 14 days. It is possible to fly to Alaska from any US state without a passport, as you won't be crossing international borders. When driving through Canada, most travelers choose one of two routes to reach the beginning of the Alaska Highway in Dawson Creek. Either through British Columbia or through Alberta. The Alberta route can include stops in Banff and Jasper, which are beautiful places to visit in the Canadian Rockies. The route through British Columbia will lead through Prince George and onto the Hart Highway to Dawson Creek, the beginning of the Yukon Highway. Is the Alaska Highway paved? Yes, the Alaska Highway is paved. The highway surface is paved or chip sealed, which is more common, from beginning to end. However, there are still rough patches, large bumps and plenty of summer construction to watch for. Most of the rough highway conditions are marked by signs or red markers, flags on the side of the road, but not all, so stay alert. You may encounter long sections of new chip seal which can be very dusty, so drive with your headlights on at all times. Finally, pay close attention to all highway signs, as the Alcan highway conditions can change quickly. The Alaska Highway starts in Dawson Creek, British Columbia and ends Delta Junction, Alaska. From Dawson Creek, the Alaska Highway runs 970 kilometers (595 miles) to Lower Post, where it enters the Yukon. It then winds its way through the Yukon for another 892 kilometers or 550 miles, passing through Whitehorse, crossing into Alaska at mile 1182 or kilometer 1903. From the Alaska border, the Alcan Highway continues onto Delta Junction at mile 1422/PM.